Okay, so now we're back outside. It took probably about an hour and a half or so to polish it. That's a pretty tedious process. The polishing is pretty tedious, but definitely gives it the type of look that at least I really like if I can get it. It takes a while. Strapping it to something and doing that with a sock or whatever is really, really fast compared to trying to do it by hand. Everything's done, soldered, all the supports, the ball rolls good, no problems, and so now we're going to paint it, and this is Rust-Oleum crystal clear enamel. Seems to work pretty well. I've got some pieces that I did like a year, 2 years ago that have this on it, and it yellows a little bit over time, but in general it's much better looking than just letting it tarnish, and the balls still roll good. So we're going to go ahead and start spraying this. And I'm going to spray it. I'm going to try and spray all different angles and try and do a nice, fairly light coat rather than, and we'll let that sit for a few minutes, and then we'll go ahead and do a heavier coat. We got some kind of band back there in a park or whatever playing that horrible music. Just trying to get all the different angles. I've actually emailed a few different sculptures asking them how they sealed their copper, and unfortunately it's hard for to get anybody to give out any of their little secrets. I know this definitely isn't one of the more expensive ways to do it. I mean, I'm sure you could spray it with either a handheld airbrush, something like that, or you could spray it with a gun, an automotive gun for doing automotive paint and do it like that. But for me, this is pretty cost effective. It does basically what I'm wanting it to do. And as far as having the shop and space to do it and that kind of stuff, it's like I don't have an automotive shop. This seems to work pretty well for what I like. So, that's a pretty good layer of paint on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to let that sit out in the sun, in the wind a little bit out here, and just let it dry for a good, whatever, 10 or 15 minutes or so, something like that. And then we'll take it back inside and roll the balls. The paint tends to slow the balls down a ton, so we'll see if we can make it roll without slowing it down too much. But So we'll see you in a bit.